Hello and welcome to another episode of Your Communities, Your Stories by me, Miss B. In this episode, I review Alice Childress's play Trouble in Mind, which I watched at the Coronet Print Room in Notting Hill, London. Childress was an American novelist, playwright and actress, acknowledged as the only African-American woman to have written, produced and published plays for 4 decades. She died in 1994 at the age of 77. Do we laugh at their unfunny jokes sometimes made at our expense just to fit in and get by? Do we grit our teeth when their unsolicited gaze on our black bodies lingers way too long? What about when that unwanted hand rests lecherously on our knee with intentions to wander, and we do nothing because we need this job to pay the bills? Or do we speak our minds, regardless of the consequences, knowing that our hopes and dreams may fade, and we will be that solitary but brave, foolish figure speaking out? Trouble in Mind is the ultimate conundrum for those of us who face racial discrimination and are forced to navigate the sometimes uncertain road of being black in a white world. Directed by Lawrence Boswell, this version of a Childress play reflects the internal struggle in the mind, but it also shows the external trouble that voicing those feelings can also cause through an arresting exploration of identity, power and ambition, set against a backdrop of racial stereotypes. Trouble in Mind may have been written and set in 1955's USA, at a time when lynching black people and stoning their black children on the way to school was still rampant, but her emotive portrayal and the sentiment carried in her words still resonates. Seasoned actress Tanya Moody plays Willetta Mayer, a jobbing thespian with strong ambitions to one day make it big, despite the obvious obstacles. She's over 40, she's black, and she's female. She also lives in a time of segregation. But she is spirited, and despite what seems like delusion, I am in her corner. She knows how to play the game, and schools the latest recruit in her theatre workplace, a young actor named John Nevins, played by Nkuti Gatwa. She schools him on how to be the black stereotype in order to survive. Laugh at their jokes, agree with them, even if you don't, she tells him. But even she struggles to take her own advice when she and the rest of the black cast are required to perform in an anti-lynching play written, directed and produced by white men. Her mask slips and she rejects the one-dimensional characterization she has played so well, upsetting the faux harmony that has been carefully constructed between the whites in charge and the black cast. Surprisingly, for such an emotive subject, Childress manages to inject considerable humour into the performance, which is carried out so brilliantly by the gifted cast. My favourite scene was when Sheldon Forrester, played by Ewart James Walters, who plays Mayer's husband in the play, practices his lines. His one-word, one-syllabic, repetitive yes'm, master lines that typify the flat dialogue and subservient characterization that black males often played then. He is such a consummate actor, and yet his talents are reduced to whittling a stick for most of the play, which he wittily reminds us, the audience, of. The pathos returns when Forrester recounts his real and authentic experience of seeing a lynched man as a child. Something way too real for the anti-lynching play, but authentic enough for it to elicit cries from one lady in the audience. When Mayer breathes new life into her mammy-esque character, truly drawing on her personal experience and pain, she is repaid with the fury of her white director, Al Manners, and risks isolation from her black peers. What I loved about this play was how viscerally each cast member deftly portrays the multiple characters black people have to assume in order to navigate and survive in this white world. We are silenced from showing rage at injustice, something Faith Alabi, who plays Millie Davis, shows all too clearly. We are often told, often forced to weep silently at our pain and schooled to be docile, of almost unfeeling to satisfy unreal perceptions. Despite gaining critical and popular success in 1955, Trouble in Mind never made it onto Broadway because, ironically, producers wanted to change the script. This play is no longer showing at the Coronet Print Room. I watched it in 2017, but I will leave a link to the blogspot and links to more about the play in the description box. To read more content from me, please visit www.msbwrites.co.uk. Thank you.